Come thrift with me in Eagle River, Wisconsin. We just got back from a family vacation. It was so much fun, but don't think for a second that a remote cabin in the woods can stop me from tracking down a few thrift stores. Our first stop of the day is the Thrifty Drifter. This was a cramped little shop full of oddities and treasures, but it turned out to be much larger than it appeared. One room led to another and another. There were a lot of very interesting things to look at. Prices were on the higher end, but I can definitely see why with the types of things that they were selling. I could have spent a lot more time just exploring in this shop, but I knew I most likely wouldn't be taking a lot of it home. It very much fit the summer camping style of Emmett's room, so I did get a lot of inspiration from this place. It was kind of like being in a giant I Spy book with something interesting everywhere you looked. The kids took home some marbles, and I left with an Eagle River pennant for Emmett's room and a set of pretty doorknobs. Our next stop of the day is Pancakes in Heaven. This is probably my favorite spot of the day. Amazing prices, tons of selection, and again, a lot bigger than it first appears. Right away, I had a little pile of finds building at the register because I couldn't carry it all. This store was also extremely organized and categorized. There were several things I left behind just because it would have been too big and too hard to get them home. These vintage enamel pots were so cute. They actually weren't in the best condition inside, but I really wanted them to be. And this huge toboggan was so cool. I guess we could have strapped it to the roof of the car, but we did not. I really wanted this giant fishbowl. It's so much bigger than it looks in the video, and I thought it would be so cool for like a terrarium or something. I actually went back for it the next day, but ultimately decided against it. I just didn't think it'd survive the drive home, and I'd be really limited with where I could style it at home too because of the size. I do wish I'd had more time to check out these vintage postcards. Those were cool. I left with quite a bit from this store, but you'll have to wait for the haul to see it all. Our last stop is the Blue Cottage Boutique. This store was mostly clothes, but the vintage home pieces that they did have were really pretty things. I particularly loved the books and this pink flower painting, which actually wasn't for sale, but the owner and I got to talking, and it did come home with me, along with a shelf for Emmett's room. I was surprised just how much thrifting we managed to do in this town, and we didn't even make it to every shop. Thanks so much for spending the day with me in Eagle River. Come back soon for the haul.